Okay.
Good morning, students. I hope you are studying at home and in the series of the online classes. Today we shall discuss the topic definite integral, which is the main topic in the integration. The subtopic is definite integral as a limit of sum. The first topic that we are doing, that is definite integral as the limit of sums. Now, firstly, what we are getting from this topic, which are known as learning outcomes. So you should know what are the learning outcomes, what you are going to be learned from this topic. The first one is the knowledge of definite integrals. Knowledge of definite integral means that you have done earlier indefinite integration. Indefinite integration, and after that definite integration you are doing right now. What is the difference between these two? The indefinite integration is the, you can say that it is the family of functions. Indefinite integration, it is the family of functions. And definite integration, that is the value, a unique value, a definite value you are going to get in this. And the second point what you are going to learn from this, that is understanding of integrand, limits of integration and variable of integration. Firstly, what is integrand? You know very well what is integrand in indefinite integration. You have done this. Integrand is the function of x which is going to be integrated. And now in this topic, new topic, in definite integral, limits of integration. Limits of integration, you are taking the limits a and b there. This a is called the lower limit and b is called the upper limit. And this fx is called integrand, and function of x, this x is called variable. Variable of integration. This variable is not, you can say that is fixed there. It can be t, it can be u, it can be v, whatever, the value will be there. There is a, this definite integration is not depending upon the variable there. So, third point is checking of function to be integrable or not. In this, if you come to know that whether the function is well defined or not between these two limits there, if you don't know this function is defined or not, then that function will be integrable or not integrable, you will not come to know. So firstly you should know that what is the meaning of function is not well defined. See this example there, minus 1 to 1 x root x square minus 1 dx. Now here this root x square minus 1, we know that the function inside the polynomial, the relation inside the square root should always be positive. So this x square minus 1 should always be greater than or equal to 0 so that it can be defined. So now next you know that x square minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, then what will happen? X minus 1 into x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Now this linear quadratic inequality, in this inequality you know that what should be the values of x. The values of x should be less than or equal to minus 1 or greater than or equal to 1. Means the value of x should be less than or equal to minus 1 or greater than or equal to 1. But we are taking the limits between minus 1 to 1. So this function is not defined between these two minus 1 to 1. So how we can integrate this function? So this knowledge you should be having, the checking of function to be integrable or not, depending upon whether the function is properly defined between the limits or not. Next is the relationship between the definite integral and area under curve. Now this is the main key point, because after this definite integral we will find out there is a topic there, area under curve there, and there is a strong relationship between these two because in definite integration between the two limits, we are enclosing the function, we are enclosing the curve between the two limits a to b, so that that region having some area, and that area is calculated with the help of the definite integral. So this is the relationship between these two. After that, the main topic which we are doing, evaluation of integrals as the limit of sums. In this regard, you should having the knowledge of limits, you should have the knowledge of some of the values and some of the functions and limits for having n approaches to infinity or x approaches to infinity there, whatever is the variable there, and some formulae are there which are going to be applied in this case. That is the knowledge about the special series. These three results and some other results also which are used in this case. Firstly, that is the summation n square, summation n cube, that you have done in the 11th class. This result, summation n, that you know that n into n plus 1 by 2, this result, and in the same way you can write summation n square and summation n cube. And in AP you have done the sum of n terms, sum of n minus 1 terms, and GP also. These formulae we should have the knowledge about this one. Now the next, that is about all this is I have drawn their concept map there. तो concept map में आप लोग देख सकते हो इस डायग्राम में, definite integral is attached with these three there. The first one which we are going to do first, that is the definite integral as the limit of sums, and second we will do after this, that is the fundamental theorem of calculus. There will be the two theorems there. First fundamental theorem of calculus and the second fundamental theorem of calculus. First theorem depend upon the area function, and the second theorem, which is the main basic result for the definite integration, and that result we will apply always. So I guess this second fundamental theorem of calculus is very much important, and the third one we will do, which is the main important part of this definite integration, that is the properties of definite integrals. There will be the 8 properties of definite integrals, in which some are very important, and upon some these important properties, some questions are coming there in the board exam also. So why these properties are important? So this is the concept map about the definite integral. Say y is equal to fx. We have taken the curve there. This curve is continuous in the interval a to b there. Y is equal to fx. This curve is continuous in the interval from a to b. It is continuous in the closed interval a. Now, if we take these values at the constant distance h, means the difference between each interval, that is equal to h. Say this value is x equal to a, then the next one is x equal to a plus h, next is a plus 2h, next is a plus 3h. So the last value will be equal to a plus n into h, because we have divided this a to b closed interval into sub intervals having length a difference, or you can say that width of each, that is equal to h. So y b is equal to a plus nh, and nh will be equal to b minus a. So if this is a, then what is the value of y, that is f of a? If this is a plus h, then what is the value? F of a plus h. If this is a plus 2h, then what is the value? f of a plus 2h, and so on. If it is a plus nh, then what is the value? F of a plus nh. And before that, again the difference is h. What is the value? That is f of a plus n minus 1 into h. Because here x is equal to a plus n minus 1 into h. So now, see, if we complete the rectangles, this is the rectangle, इसका नाम रख लेते हैं कोई A, B, C, D. So we have to find out the A to B fx dx. This is the area of the region. Which region? A, B, C, D, A. So this region is divided into n sub-regions, and that n sub-regions are defined on n sub-intervals. Each width of each interval, that is equal to h sub-interval. So now here, if you complete the rectangle, say this one, you can see here, this up to this length is f of a, but if you will see the outer rectangle, then the length is f of a plus h, because this bigger length we will take. This is f of a plus h. So, two types of rectangles you are seeing. One are coming below the curve y is equal to fx. One are coming above the curve fx, y equal to fx. So, when we take, say, S is equal to, this area we have to find out. Say this S is the sum of the areas of rectangles below the curve. What you will get? You know that the area of the rectangle is length into breadth. The width जिसको हम बोलेंगे फिर breadth is equal to h, and the length you can clearly see from the diagram. That is, so we have two smaller rectangles. So first rectangle length is fa. Next rectangle length f of a plus h, then f of a plus 2h, plus so on. The last is f of, what will be the last smaller rectangles, length will be f of a plus n minus 1 into h. This is the smallest bracket, bar bracket. So sum of all the lengths into breadth is common in all, that is h, that is taken outside. So this is the sum of the areas of the rectangles below the curve. If you are taking the sum of the areas of the rectangles above this curve, what you will get? In that case, your first length of the rectangle will be bigger one, that is f of a plus h, not f of a. Then f of a plus 2h plus so on, and the last length will be equal to f of a plus nh. And outside is h breadth. So this is the sum of the areas. Now, which area we want to find out, that is a of this region A, B, C, D, A, that lies between these two areas S and S. So, our aim is to find out the area of this region. So, what we'll have to do, because this width h is same everywhere, and you are getting n sub-regions divided into n sub-intervals. So, when this n approaches to infinity, then h will approaches to 0. So, what we have taken, this nh equal to b minus a, so that h is equal to b minus a upon n. So when n approaches to infinity, because means if here are n subregions, the region is divided into n subregions, but if these regions are infinite there, then the difference is becoming so small, it will approach to zero. So that if this bigger length and smaller length, they look like same when n approaches to infinity. Means अगर हम इस length को आगे कर दें, there are so many lengths are there, then this say मैं ऐसे बना दूँ अगर और इसमें length ऐड कर दूँ, so this becomes all lengths will become equal, and the bigger length will be equal to smaller length, so that this f of a plus h will look like f of a there. So means outer rectangle will become same as inner rectangle, so that this area will be h approaches to 0, s minus s, what it will become, दोनों को minus कर दिया अगर हम, so you can see that these will be cancel out. The only left will be the first term of small s and the last term of capital S, means f of a plus nh minus f of a into h, and the limit is h approaches to 0. And limit, how to apply the limit we know very well. So this value will be equal to 0 because this h is multiplied with it. So limit h approaches to 0, s will be equal to limit h approaches to 0 small s. And this is the area when these two rectangles becomes the same there, so that when we all add all these, so you will get the area of the required region A, B, C, D, A, area of a region A, B, C, D, A. So this area will be equal to which one? A to B fx dx. So this when bigger rectangle becomes small rectangle, so small rectangle area is this we have taken. So this will be your area, and this area will be equal to A to B fx dx. So this formula you will have to apply in all the questions there, in which you have to evaluate the integral as the limit of a sum, that is limit h, limit भी आएगी साथ में, limit h approaches to 0, f of a plus f of a plus h plus f of a plus 2h plus 1 f of a plus n minus 1 into h there. So this is the main formula for finding the definite integral as the limit of sum. So for this one the curve should be continuous, the most important, and well defined would be in A to B there. So this is the formula.